started. So 2017 or 2000, beginning of 2018. I forgot when we launched for the US. And I have a favorite person who I think anytime that I get in business, this person needs to get in business with me too. So I started hounding this person from the moment I walked into Actives. And I don't even know if I was signed up yet. I was still like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what we have in our hands. So I went after this person. Now, you all probably know who is the hardest person to get as a customer or a distributor. Okay, the first thing you would say is friends, right? Well, who's even harder than that? Family, right? You would think they'd be easier. They know you, right? They know how great you are. And no, they're the ones that usually poo-poo you. So same with this gentleman who is my older brother. I have to say older because got to put that in. My older brother. So I tried to get him in from the very moment because he has been a rock star and a couple of other direct sales company, omni-channel companies. And I just knew he would be wonderful in here. But I got ghosted so many times, it wasn't even funny. Wasn't funny. So my mom, obviously our mom, ended up getting sick a couple of years ago, and she had some Alzheimer's and dementia. Her brain was having some issues, and she had really bad rheumatoid arthritis. Enough that she, couldn't grasp anything, couldn't open anything with her hands. She would get testy with all of us because we didn't understand, and she was getting older. So my brother was like, "I'll take anything that helps for her." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm sending you my trifecta. I want you to put mom on trifecta." And she went on trifecta. It probably took about a month, right, to get into her system. And I'm not going to say she was a totally new person, but I will say that she felt a lot better and she was more personable. Her aches and pains reduced substantially. And the link really, really, really helped both her brain and her gut, which is obviously connected. So my brother said, right, I will try it. So that's the start of this testimonial. So I'm going to bring on my brother, and I don't know if I can or if you can make him the highlight and let him tell you his story about what made him actually become a customer and now a distributor. And then I think he's got 8 kids and he's got a bunch of his kids in too. So yay, yes, so good for actives. So Scott, we are ready for you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Karen. And Karen talked to me about actives for a long time before I ended up trying her product. And part of what was holding me back is I went through a period of a couple of years. I was very, very, very sick. Was in a hospital for almost 9 months, in a wheelchair for almost a year, and was just trying to make it day to day, just to survive. And Karen kept saying, well, you should try these products. You should try these products. And that was the last thing on my mind. I didn't want to try anything. I just wanted to feel better. And part of what was happening with me is the drugs that I was taking, the medications, the thing I was dealing with at the time triggered what would be very similar to IBS for me. That was just one of the side effects. And if you can imagine dealing with the symptoms of IBS 24 hours, 7 days a week, every single day, and not really being able to go anywhere or do anything because you can't, your whole life revolves around where's the nearest bathroom. And am I going to be able to make it from bathroom to bathroom to bathroom? And if you know anybody that's ever been in that situation or you've ever gone through that, it's miserable, absolutely miserable. And Karen called me one time and we were talking about what was happening with me. And she said, will you please just try it? If I send it to you, will you please just try it? And at that point, I was so sick. I just said, sure, I'll try anything. You can send me anything you want and I'll try it because nothing's working. So she sent me a link and I followed up with a phone call and I said, okay, so what is this stuff and how does it work and how do I take it? And we had that conversation, and I started taking it. Now, keep in mind, I had been dealing with all these symptoms and all these um, things plaguing me for well over a year, almost 2 years. And none of the specialists I had been going to, none of the doctors I had been going to could stop anything. So this is my story. I'm not making any medical claims. I'm just telling you what happened in my life. And I started taking Link, and literally in 1 week, the symptoms went away. 1 week. And it so shocked me that I thought, well, that can't be right. Something's happened. So I actually stopped taking Link, and everything returned. And it was miserable. So I started taking Link again, and you will never find me without Link, because it is unbelievable the difference that Link made in my life. It gave me my old life back that I did not have, and none of the doctors, none of the specialists, none of the neuro people, nobody could figure out what was going on. And Link stopped everything and changed everything for me. And I am forever grateful for that product. So
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. So when I gave it to him, I had no idea if he would take it, because I've heard many times, oh, yeah, I'll get the product or send it to me, and they never take it. So I was going, this is going to be a challenge to see if my brother actually takes it. So he did. And then I'm going to add a little bit further to Scott's testimony, which is, so he got healthier through taking Link, which then turned into him being able to take care of himself better. And now
absolutely.
he has, if you have met, some of you've met my brother, now tell us, because you're feeling better, how much weight you've lost because you've been able to become healthier and take care of yourself.
Absolutely. Before I got sick, I was in pretty decent shape. I swam every day. Um, I was in fairly decent shape for somebody my age. And then when I got sick, I was in a hospital bed, like I said, for 9 months almost. And I went from about 180 pounds to 347 pounds, 347. And I went from a 30-inch waist up to a 54-inch waist. And that's because I was in a hospital bed and unable to get around and unable to do anything, and then in a wheelchair for almost a year. And my A1C, if you guys know what that is, my A1C skyrocketed up to 10.4, and I was miserable in my life.
And
And
you were
when I started,
diagnosed with diabetics too, right? If I remember correctly.
yep, I was diagnosed with diabetes. They told me I had coronary artery disease. They put me on about 17 different medications, and because of, well, again, my story, because of Link, I've been able to lose over 140 pounds. My waist has gone from 54 inches down now to 40 inches. So I've lost 14 inches around my waist. And I am hoping to get the remaining 60 pounds or so off, hopefully by my birthday next year, and get back to where I was. But my A1C now is 7.1. So I'm closing in on the non-diabetic side of the A1C, and it's amazing. And it's funny because I've got these neurosurgeons and doctors going, what is this stuff? And I had my cardiologist like, I don't believe that stuff works. And I'm like, I really don't care if you believe it works or not. I still did. I, you know, I'm still 140 pounds less. And the change I made in my life is, Karen will tell you, the change I've made in my life is the active products, and specifically Link. That's what's made a difference.
Now I'm going to ask you one more question, which is, so we've
Sure.
always talked about the gut connection to the brain connection. Now I
Yep.
remember when you weren't on Link and not, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but not quite being able to think everything through or grasp the words or
Yep.
brain fog. Um,
That's true.
I
I've,
see you've changed in that, but do you think Link has helped you in that arena?
not only do I feel like it's made a difference, Karen, but Melissa, my wife, for everyone, has noticed the difference. I've always prided myself on being pretty quick on my wit and being able to figure things out. And at this time period when I was so sick, Karen will tell you, I had a hard time remembering really what I needed to do next and what I was doing, and I'd walk into a room and wonder why I was in there. And quite frankly, I was afraid that I was getting early stage Alzheimer's because of the symptoms I was seeing and the symptoms I was experiencing. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going down the same path as my mom, our mom, at a very, very early age. And it scared me tremendously. That is not the case now. I feel just like I've lost all that weight. Well, I've lost all that brain fog, and I can keep up with my kids now, which is amazing.
That's great. And I'm gonna add, so he's gone from that being sort of toward my mom to my dad, who tells the worst dad jokes ever.
That's
Yeah,
true.
now my brother has stepped up because he says Link has cleaned his brain out. So
That is true. That's true. Every single person dealing with IBS, dealing with brain fog, dealing with confusion, dealing with all those issues that I dealt with, um, it 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 is the most significant thing that I have ever taken for my situation in my life, and thank God for that product. It is, you know, it's a godsend. It really is.
well, I thank God because it gave me my brother back.
Well,
So
thank you. Thank
yeah.
you. And if anyone ever needs, you're anyone on this call, if they want to reference me, use my story when you're talking to your people, um, please do so. Feel free to do so. I give you permission to use that as you will. But I'm telling you, anybody that's dealing with those symptoms, IBS, my diabetes is tremendously different today. I avoided having to go on insulin, and I attribute that to Link.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add? That pretty much summed it up. And I appreciate you getting on and talking to us tonight. You have because of your testimony, and we're going to get Melissa, his wife, on at some point because hers is Genomics, which is
Yes,
her
absolutely.
claim to fame. She was unable to be with us tonight because of a family, a death in
That's
a friend.
correct.
So, but she's excited to get back on. So we really appreciate it. And I tell you, because of his belief in actually the products, he then did finally become a distributor, and his wife is the distributor, several of his 8 kids who are old enough to be distributors. So it's a
It's,
family business now. So
it's it's a funny thing, Karen. Some of the things that's happened in my life with over the last several months and last 2 years, and we've not gotten off to the start that we wanted to with this business, but our belief hasn't waned at all. Actives and the actives products, and especially Link. It's amazing.
well, it's never too late with actives. And
Absolutely.
we're a huge
Absolutely.
family, and we just will help each other get to the top. So it's never too late. So
Absolutely.
yeah, if you're willing to go the distance, we're willing to go with you. So
Absolutely. I believe that about the company. So thank you so much for having me on tonight and giving me the opportunity to share. I hope it helped somebody or made a difference. And God bless everybody.
thank you, Scott. I'll turn it back over to our lovely COO.